Hello, BookTube. This is take 2. Um, you're just gonna get me tonight. I am the Becky half of the bookish. You know this is very difficult to do with you sitting there looking all cute. I am the Becky half of the Bookish Bryants, and tonight I'm going to be doing the cozy mystery book tag. It was created by the Courtagonist and Books Are My Heart, and I was tagged by Cozy Reads Mystery. And this tag was made for me, man. I'm excited. Are you excited? I can tell you're excited. You can't even stay awake. I've actually already done this video once, but about halfway, would you stop? But about halfway through, I chucked my Kindle in the floor and knocked my camera over, and it's it was a travesty. So we're going to try it again. I put pictures of all the books I'm going to mention on my Kindle because I did not feel like having a stack of books this tall and rummaging through them and knocking them off, and I figured that was, we're batting 1,000 at this point. All right, I'm going to put you down. You have to go get in bed. Can you? Mwah. Go on. Good boy. Okay, so let's jump on this just face first and dive in. So question 1, location, location, location. Your favorite small town cozy. And this one was, it was actually kind of difficult. Most cozies, a very large majority of cozies are small towns. Again, it's part of what makes them cozy. And, so for this one, I went ahead and chose the Witches of Keyhole Lake series. And it is by Tegan Marr. Let's see if we can, oh, there we go. This is a great series. It's about a woman who lives in a very small town. She and her entire family are witches. There's ghosts, there's witches, there's all sorts of magical beings. And I really love this, the town that the books take place in, because it's truly the quintessential small town. Everybody knows everybody's business. And it's not that everybody knows everybody, it's just everybody knows what everybody's doing. So a murder can happen on this side of town, and 10 minutes later, they know it's happening. They know it's happened on the other side of town. And nobody knows how the information got there. It's usually through the local hair shop. But, it's a great little small town cozy, and there's all sorts of shenanigans that happen there. It's a very, very good series. Number 2, For the Love of Food, your favorite food-themed cozy. And again, this is a pretty wide pull, P-U-L-L, pool, P-O-O-L. That didn't work as well as it did in my head. There's a really wide selection to choose from. There we go. But the one that I chose to go with was The Magical Bake Shop Mysteries by Bailey Cates. And it's about a girl, young woman, really. This thing, I swear, I had it great on the first one. I think she loses her job or she leaves her job and moves back home to her hometown, which I think is in Georgia somewhere, like maybe Savannah or something like that. And I'm probably wrong, but it's somewhere. And she goes to work in her family's, in her aunt's and uncle's bakery, and discovers that she is a witch, a very, very powerful witch. And lots of crazy things go on in this town, but the main character finds that she's a very powerful witch and frequently has to solve murder mysteries as these things go. And some of the food that they describe in this is just delectable. And I think it even has recipes, which I'm there for. You know what I really need to do? I really need to gather all the recipes that are in my food-based cozies and just start making them. I'll tell you guys what I think. I might do that one day. Number 3, Man, Women's Best Friend, your favorite furry friend. Again, a really wide selection pool here. a very large majority of cozy mysteries have some sort of furry, fuzzy friend. But again, it's part of what makes them cozy. You can't go wrong when you have a puppy following you around solving murders. But anyway, there are a couple of things I could have done with this. Like the Keyhole Lake series has a talking donkey that was once a 16th century aristocrat who was discovered sleeping with the wrong woman and jilting the wrong witch. So he was turned into a donkey who would live forever. Kind of serves him right. But I didn't want to go with that one again. I didn't want to go with the Keyhole Lake series again. So I chose Princess Buttercup, who is a hellhound from the Federal Bureau of Magic series by Annabelle Chase. Princess Buttercup, she looks like a Great Dane to regular humans, but to those with the sight that like psychic powers or magic of some sort, she's a hellhound. And her slobber is acidic and eats holes in the floors. But she's a really, really great furry friend in those series. She's just adorable. But there's also another animal friend in the series that I find really fascinating. Is like a 7-8 foot python that wanders around these people's house, and the python loves dog toys and will fight Buttercup over the dog toys. It's great. But the Federal Bureau of Magic Mysteries is a really, really great series of books. The main character was an FBI agent who discovered who knew that she was a Fury, but the more she uses her power, the more Fury powers she gets, which is not a good thing for her because her entire family is evil. And they're hilarious. We're talking demons and like murdering each other and bringing them back to life later. Evil. But the more Fury power she gets, the more she fears she's going to lose herself and turn out to be just like her family, which is just not a good thing. So it has high stakes. That power does, and it's really, really a cool book. Or cool series. It adds a really interesting twist to it. Number 4. Law enforcement, friend or foe. Name your favorite ally or enemy law enforcement. Now, another very, very common thing in cozy mysteries, especially the present day cozy mysteries, is as a general rule, the love interest is going to be probably a cop or an FBI agent or somebody or an MI6 agent. Somebody who is related in some way to law enforcement, because it gives the heroine, the main amateur sleuth, an in into what's going on in the murder investigation. So the easiest way to do that is have her boyfriend, husband, whatever, what have you, be the cop. There are other ways to do it. It hasn't always been that way. It's like a lot of the older cozies, the cop doesn't even enter into it. Like I'm reading the Elizabeth Peters books, and there aren't any cops. So there are other ways to do it. It's kind of, what's the word I'm like? It's kind of a cop out sometimes, but it can be done right. It can be done right. And it's actually done really right in one of the series I'm going to mention in a minute. But for this one, I chose a favorite ally, and that is David Rainwater from the Magical Bookshop Mysteries by Amanda Flower. And let me tell you guys, I love this series. Look at, don't drop it. I dropped it the first time and it like flew across the room. It's right about here actually. Crime and Poetry is the first book in the series, and it's fascinating. The first book is about a young woman who's summoned home by her grandmother, who tells her that She is on her deathbed. She is actively dying, and she needs to come home. So when the woman gets home, Grandma's fine. Not sick at all. She just wanted her to come home and like accept her inheritance, which is this bookshop. Grandma's ready to give up the gift, which is the bookshop. And the thing is, the bookshop is alive. And it communicates with her. It'll do things like tell her what kind of book a patron really needs. A man, I think there was a scene where a man walked in, he was looking for something for his wife and just couldn't figure anything, and the bookshop chucked a book across the room. Luckily out of sight. But also another really interesting thing is the bookshop helps the main character solve crimes. And they always revolve around a classic story. There's one book that revolves entirely around Little Women. The bookshop keeps chucking copies of Little Women at her, and they keep opening to certain passages in the book that's really important and pertinent to the case. So it's a great little tool. But anyway, I digress. The character in this is David Rainwater. He's the chief of police. He's a Native American. He's big, strong, strapping, and gorgeous, and he's just a brilliant lawman. And he's a really great character. He's kind, and he's gentle, and he's just not horrible like some of the ones you see in some of the other books. He's fair, which you don't come across very much, especially for the first book in the series. Boy, oh boy, sometimes the cops really take it too far. All right, so David Rainwater. There's another book that I was thinking about using as an enemy cop, but I could not remember what it was called. It was about a woman who gets stuck in a magical town just through no fault of her own, and the sheriff of this town is a centaur, and he is a monumental idiot. He's dumb as a box of rocks, and he's just a big meathead, and it's hilarious. I can't remember what the series was called. All right, number 5, Idle Hands, favorite job or hobby to read about. And this one, I've actually talked about this series several times in our videos. And it is Brooklyn Wainwright in Kate Carlisle. Her job in Kate Carlisle. In the Bibliophile series, Brooklyn Wainwright's job is bookbinder. And it's just amazing, the things that she talks about in the books. And it brings to mind something that I really feel strongly about with cozy mysteries, especially with cozy mysteries. If you're going to give somebody a job in a book that you're writing about, learn that job. Learn everything you can about it, so that when you're describing that person doing that job, you can go into detail about what they're doing. You don't have to say, well, she's fixing the book. You can say she opened the book, peeled back the end papers very carefully with a pair of tongs, used her cotton gloves. And you can tell Kate Carlisle really did her research for Brooklyn Wainwright's character, for her job. She goes way deep into detail. Talking about what kind of glue she uses. She talks about stringing the spines together and gluing back on the end pages. She goes way deep into that, and it could be considered boring by some people, but I find it absolutely fascinating. And it's the same way with Kate Carlisle's other series. I'm neglecting.
I'm not sure I understand.
Shush you. I wasn't talking to you. Anyway. My Kindle has given up the ghost. Kate Carlisle's other series is the Fixer Upper Mysteries. And they're about a character who is she's a contractor. and she works primarily on Victorian houses. And it goes into deeply into what she does as a contractor. She talks about the different parts of the houses, what it takes to put up a plaster wall, or I think it's plaster. I can't remember, but it's, you can tell she's done her homework, and you can tell when a author has not done their homework. There's one series that I read that I never ventured past the first book, because the main character is supposed to be this whiskey aficionado, and every time the character takes a drink of any kind of whiskey, of different types of whiskey, she always talks about how she stopped and savored. You know, I listened to these on audio, so the narrator always says she stopped and savored the tones of vanilla, oak, and char. It's a running joke in my house, but those are the only 3 flavors she ever mentions, and she does it 4 or 5 times throughout the book. And the thing is, with whiskey, there are so many flavors that come with them. There's leathery flavors, there's bitter, there's sweet, there's vanilla, there's oak, it's not just vanilla, oak, and char. And anybody this just started pouring down rain. That's awesome. And anybody who had, this is the most ADD video, and anybody who had any experience whatsoever with whiskey, any kind of whiskey, would know that, would realize that it's very, very small amount of information. And it really, really turned me off of the book, because every time she would mention it, I'm like, stop saying that. Vanilla, oak, and char. Rawr. All right, I'll get off my soapbox now. Number 6, Elementary, My Dear Watson. Favorite best friend or Watson-esque character. This one was easy. I chose Gilly Gillespie from the Ghost Finder series by Victoria Laurie. I love this series, and Gilly Gillespie is hysterical. He's the main character, MJ Halliday. He's her best friend. And there we go. My Kindle is going to decide to work now. He's MJ's best friend. And the thing about him is he's the biggest scaredy cat on the face of the planet. Terrified, and they hunt ghosts. And but the thing is he's her best friend, and he's very good at what he does, which is the technological aspects of ghost hunting, the video, the recorders, all that good stuff. And it's MJ walks a very fine line of keeping Gilly calm and doing her job. So it's a great series. The only thing about it, it's kind of, there's parts of this series that actually get kind of creepy. I had to stop reading a couple of times when I was reading by myself in the dark when I was reading the series. And the series has closed up. It's finished. But it is absolutely worth a read. It's a great series. One of my very favorite cozy mystery series of all time. Number 7, One Big Happy Family. Who is your favorite cozy family? Again, that one's easy. It's the Wainwrights from the Bibliophile series. I love Brooklyn's family. Her mother and her father are old hippies. Brooklyn has 2 sisters. It's China and I think it's London. They're the Wainwright girls are named after where they were conceived. And they grew up in a commune. And through some magic of some sort, the commune grew into a tourist destination in wine country in California. And I love the stories about that town. It's called Dharma. And it would have been my favorite location, except it's not a small town anymore. It's a big tourist attraction. So we'll go with the Wainwrights because Brooklyn's mother is named Becky, and that appeals to me for some reason. And Becky is a she's a practicing Wiccan, and she's very, very fluffy bunny. But the thing is, any like spells she casts, they work. So it's very, very fun, and her family absolutely loves her. They're such a close knit family. And where I'm at in the books, which is I'm caught up in the books. There's a lot of them. Where I'm at in the books, she has also this very large family of friends, people that surround her, her support system, and it's wonderful. The camaraderie she has with all of these people, who by this point the readers absolutely love. So most definitely the Wainwrights in that situation. Now, 'tis the season, number 8. What is your favorite holiday themed cozy read? And this one was actually pretty easy too. I read this book at Christmas time last year. It's called A Cup of Holiday Fear by Ellie Alexander. Now, I'm going to be uploading this video on Tuesday morning. And on Tuesday evening at 6:30, we're going to be interviewing Ellie Alexander. And I'm excited. Now, this book, it kept me in the holiday spirit the whole way through. It's so wonderful, and it's just so cozy, and left me with the warm and fuzzies. And it has a very Dickens-esque feel to it. And if you've ever read it, you'll know what I mean. But this series is just wonderful. And I'm going to talk about it again here in just a minute. So we'll just move on, because I'm at 21 minutes. Number 9. Sometimes punny is best. Name your favorite punniest title. Okay. This series is by Stephanie Cole. It's called Is a Tuscan Cooking School Mystery. And it's the second book of the series, and it's called Crime of the Ancient Marinara. Oh my god. The first book in this series, by the way, is Al Dente's Inferno. It's just amazing. Just amazing. Crime of the Ancient Marinara. That is title perfection. I heard one today. It's called Yappy Hour. A Crime of the Ancient Marinara. It's just great. That series, or the first book of this series, is really, really good. I'm going to read the Crime of the Ancient Marinara pretty soon when I actually have time. Number 10. Excuse me. Number 10, month to month. Solving crimes through the fall, winter, spring, and summer. What is your favorite seasonal cozy? Now that is, again, Ellie Alexander. It's the a bake shop mystery. And this series, it takes place, like, every book is a new season, or a new holiday, is a new festival in town. There's always something going on with these books, and I love them. They're wonderful. The main character is a very, very good character. She's take charge. She's the head of the kitchen, and some of the recipes in this book are really, really good too. I think I might one day tackle the recipes and just like tell you guys about them or something. I don't know. But again, we'll be interviewing her at 6:30. I'm so excited. All right. Special skills, number 11. Does your favorite amateur sleuth have a unique skill? Yeah, she's a bookbinder. That's, like I said, that is Brooklyn Wainwright. Here. I was going to show you the first one, but my Kindle had a heart attack. This is If Books Could Kill. This is the second book in the Bibliophile series. But yeah, Bookbinder I think is really pretty cool. But since I used the Bibliophile series like 3 times in this, I'm going to also give you a different one. It's called the Psychic Eye Mysteries by Victoria Laurie. The first one is Abby Cooper, Psychic Eye. And it's basically what it says. She's a psychic. The main character is. And she uses her ability to solve crimes. And what's interesting about this is Victoria Laurie, the author of the Psychic Eye Mysteries and the MJ Halliday series, is a working psychic. And she has a new series out that I haven't read yet that I'm going to jump on once again as soon as I have time. But I think that's a pretty cool skill to have, is a psychic skill. At number 12, reading time. How do you get cozy to read a cozy? Now, here's the thing. I can read anywhere. I can read while there's a movie playing, while there's music playing. Somebody can be talking to me. There can be people running through. There can be a wild storm outside. I can read anywhere. I don't have to have anything special to get cozy. I can sit back, get comfortable in my couch, and read a book. The thing is I usually, when I'm reading a physical book, I'll read at night, like when I'm in bed. So it either has to be my trusty dusty Kindle, or it has to be a small book that won't kill me when I drop it on my face. But notice I said when. But yeah, I don't really have to do anything to get cozy. I can read anywhere, no matter what's happening. It's my special skill. It's my superpower. All right, number 13, recommendations. What is your favorite cozy mystery or series? I'm going to give you 3 because they really represent my reading group, what I love to read. And the first is, of course, the Bibliophile series. They're straight up cozy mystery. There's nothing paranormal about them. It's if you don't count Becky Wainwright's excuse me, if you don't count Becky Wainwright's crazy spells that seem to be working for some reason. Then the second one is the Hungarian Tea House series by Julia Buckley, which we're doing a giveaway of on the March Mystery Madness mid-month meeting. We give you instructions on how to join, how to enter the giveaway, and we'll send them anywhere. I love that series. It is so good. There's only 2 books, and I cannot wait for the 3rd one that's coming out in a couple of months. But they're cozy mystery perfection. I love them. They're a 5-star read for me. And the last one is the MJ Halliday series by Victoria Laurie. Again, absolute perfection for me. They contain a heavy dose of paranormal. Again, ghosts, psychics, mediums, that kind of thing. And they are a joy to read. They are so much fun. But if you're thinking about getting into cozy mysteries, one of those 3 would be a good place to start. If you like the horror, the more horror-y books, you might be go with the MJ Halliday series. If you're okay with a little bit of paranormal, the Hungarian Tea House would be good. If you don't like paranormal at all, the Bibliophile series would be good for you. So it's a really good spread. But that's it. That is the cozy mystery book tag. And I will put everybody's URL down below. Courtagonist, books are my heart, and Cozy Reads Mystery. If you've never read, or if you're a fan of cozy mysteries, please take on this tag. I will watch everyone I can get my little hands on just for the recommendations. I'm always looking for good cozy recommendations because you can tell I need more. I always need more cozies. You can never have too many. So anyway, that's all for today. We'll see you at 6:30. Have a good evening. Your books are calling. Go read.